I would just say if there is something in the back of your mind telling you that this is your role, this is your passion, this is your path, don't ignore that feeling. There's a reason why it keeps coming back to you, and the roadblocks are going to keep coming up. There have been 1,000 roadblocks for me. I had a competitor tell all of her Instagram followers to write bad reviews on my site, and I got hundreds of bad reviews over one weekend. I've had the studio flood twice. I've had clients ask for refunds. I've had all kinds of things. The roadblocks are never really going to end. That's part of being in business. Don't look at the roadblocks as telling you to stop, just as an opportunity to learn and keep going.
Entrepreneurs, we are bringing on a rock star who's been in business since 2018, Chicago Boudoir Photography, TEDx talks, scaling profitable $1 million businesses to empower women. Liz Hansen, welcome to That Entrepreneur Show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Great to be here.
I'm excited to dive all into this incredible journey. And I mentioned she started back in 2018 after learning a lot more before that. We're going to learn all about it, so don't you worry. But she's since photographed more than 2,000 women. I mentioned she found herself on the TEDx stage, so we can talk about brand building there, National Public Radio, and the Association of International Boudoir Photographers. She focuses on something very niche related, right? She's empowering all of these women all around the world, and she's always trying to share real actionable tips about branding, pricing, and client experience. So get ready here on That Entrepreneur Show. Thank you everyone for tuning in and keeping the show a top 2.5% global show. I'm very excited to dive into today's journey with Liz, and you should too. We're brought to you by ComingAlivePodcastProduction.com, and now it is just about time to get started. Liz, why did you want to become an entrepreneur?
So I run something called the Chicago Boudoir Photography Studio. If you haven't heard that word before, boudoir, it's just a fancy French word that means a woman's bedroom. What I do at the Boudoir Studio is create a safe space to create sexy, sensual photos of women so they can feel empowered and confident in their own skin. And this started for me about a decade ago. I was a wedding photographer. I was doing normal photography, weddings, babies, families, right? And on a whim, I decided to sign up for a boudoir photo shoot for myself. Just sounded kind of fun, thought my husband would like it. And wow, I had a transformational experience. I walked out of there ready to take on the world, and I wanted to offer that same experience to other women.
I love it. Well, I love the confidence you had because I learned that you started this as a mom of two and you said, I'm going to jump right in. You felt it was time?
Yeah, so I had never done anything like this before. I'd been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, just kind of doing photography on the side. I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I probably couldn't even have pronounced that word. I didn't have a lot of role models in my life. Like now, I know a lot of business owners and boss babes who are doing the thing. But back then, I didn't. And this was a big leap for me. You know, I took out a $25,000 loan to start my studio. And for me, that could have been $25 million. It felt like so much money, such a big risk, because I really was kind of just really green, really new. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had this idea and I had this desire and I decided to go for it.
I love it. And you haven't looked back because now you're starting to scale and do so many great things. I think we need to go back to confidence because I know you've learned a lot about clients, your own and your clients, I should say, photographing women over 40. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think that confidence is a big part, especially for women in business. We are often socialized as women. We need to serve others and be self-sacrificing. And listen, serving others is great, but it takes a certain amount of confidence to go out there and start a business, to say, I am the person that wants to offer this service to you. I am the best person who can do this. And for a lot of women, that does not come naturally. You have to kind of learn some confidence skills. You have to learn how to self-advocate. And I think women can learn to do this. If you're listening, if you're feeling like you're not good enough, like you can't start, it can be learned. Confidence isn't something you're just born with, but you got to take those first steps towards it.
And of course, confidence is one of the harder things in entrepreneurship, but there are many hard things when you were getting started, right? When you got that loan, you're excited, you're getting going. What did you find some of the more challenging areas in entrepreneurship to be for you?
So many. So first off, I'm in a commercial space, right? And there were a lot of challenges just physically with that space. Week 2, the space flooded and my landlord had to come in and replace all the floors and I couldn't go back in for 6 weeks. Having to remodel, buy all the furniture, buy all the equipment, like just the physicality of getting started. It wasn't an online business, right? Like it wasn't throwing up a website. I had to have a beautiful storefront studio space that I could invite women into that was inviting and beautiful, right? And then I would say the next big challenge for me really was pricing. How could I put a price on my art? Like as an artist creating photos, I believe photographers are artists. Sometimes we have this really tough challenge to get over that if I create something and I put a price tag on it, somehow that makes my art wrong or I'm a sellout, right? So getting over the hurdle of recognizing that yes, I can put a price on something I create, and also I can put a profitable price on what I create. I don't have to be a starving artist. That took a long time to figure that out.
And you did it though. You took your time and now you got to where you were going. You mentioned you're scaling now, right? We're talking 1 million, right? And so you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it. What are some tips you've learned about scaling that you wish you knew before it started to take off, maybe to prepare yourself a little better?
Number one, you're going to have to outsource, right? You cannot do this all on your own. It is impossible, in my mind, to run a business just all by yourself. Yes, I was a solopreneur getting started on my own, but it came a point where there's too many balls in the air. I needed some help, but I was scared to let go of even the tiniest part of my business to let anyone help me with it because I thought they would do a bad job. Well, it turns out there's actually people in this world that can do things better than I can, and I am happy to pay them to do it. But there was like this emotional piece of like letting go of parts of my business. And then number 2, recognizing that even though I am in a business of empowering and helping women feel comfortable in their own skin, this is a business and there are processes that have to be put in place. Yes, I want every woman to feel like a queen when she comes into my studio, but also I have to make sure she's signed the waiver. I have to make sure that she understands the pricing. There are important steps, processes to any business. No matter how fluffy or fun or glittery your business is, there are still the nuts and bolts you got to take care of.
I absolutely love that. And not getting too far ahead of yourself is very challenging as entrepreneurs because we want to go, go, go. We want everything to happen now. And chances are it's not going to happen now or on the time frame we want in most cases. But with scaling, you've done some things outside of your business to build your brand. You found yourself on the TEDx stage. Let's talk about that.
Well, I applied to give a TEDx talk and I got in and I got up on that stage and talked about how I think you should embrace your nude body and do something a little out of your comfort zone. And it was a fabulous experience, not only preparing and giving the talk, but the people I met, the other speakers, the day of my conference, the organizers. And that talk has opened so many doors. I'm so glad I did it. It was a ton of work. But just being able to have that TEDx in my bio, in my email signature, lends a sense of credibility, I think, to what I do, especially in the business I'm in, which is a little bit taboo. It's a little naughty, right? Taking sexy photos. But I come across as a real professional that can also speak intelligently about what I do and why from the TEDx stage. So I recommend anyone, even if it's not TEDx, find an opportunity to speak about what you do at a conference, at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, something so that you can be the expert in your field.
Sharing your story is so important. The more people you get in front of, the better. Some people, like me, prefer to do speaking or podcasts because of social media's different approach now. I like to have these interactions and continue to help each other grow. I'm so proud of all this success. I mean, it seems like you're just getting started too, because I see your passion going right through the computer screen here. What's next for your company? Are we staying in this lane? Do you see expansion? What's next so we can get our listeners excited as they start to check you out?
Yeah, of course, want to keep empowering women in my studio and having them in for photography sessions, but I also want to branch out to helping photographers who want to get into boudoir understand why this is a great niche to be in. I want to do more in-person stuff, gathering women in my community. In October, for example, we're having a self-defense class in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So getting some more people together for my community. I want to become a leader in my community in this field of empowering women as well.
I think you're already doing that and you're on your way to doing more. What advice would you give to someone starting out today in your industry?
Do not let perfection be the enemy of the good. It is so easy, especially in an artistic field, to continually say how you can improve and do better. And of course, there's always room for improvement, but sometimes getting it done is good enough.
And that's right. In the beginning, I was very hard on myself. Certainly, this recovering perfectionist now at this point where you want it to be perfect. But even now, doing this over 5.5 years, there's never going to be a perfect podcast episode. When I read books, I'll often find a spelling error somewhere in there, and they have a team of proofreaders just like my own. I'll have my team, and then someone will miss a comma. I'm like, oh no, but now it's part of life. We're human. And even with these shows, letting them flow much more organically. I would love to ask this because I know Chicago has a severe winter. Do you see fluctuations in traffic during those colder months? Do you have peak seasons?
You know what's so great about boudoir is that it never slows down. Listen, in January, I am photographing for Valentine's Day. We are always slammed in January, right?
Love
And
that.
then as we come into March, April, it starts being wedding season, right? And we do bridal boudoir, people getting married and wanting to do a photo shoot for the love of their life. That continues through the summer. By the time we get to fall, we're talking holiday gifts, right? So boudoir never slows down. And that's something I love about it. It's not like family photography that's always in the fall for holiday cards. And even though we have terrible winters in Chicago, I always shoot indoors with boudoir, so I shoot every day of the week with studio lights.
I love that. Thank you for educating me and our audience on the differences of those type of photography. Everyone, be sure to stick around just a bit longer. We're of course going to find out her website, everything to get in touch with her. Did you see yourself being a photographer when you were younger? Is this something that you said I'm going to get there eventually?
You know, I did want to be a photographer when I was little. My parents were like, no, that's not a job. And so I took some detours. I was a teacher for a while, got a teaching certificate. I certainly didn't know about boudoir when I was a kid, right? Didn't know what that was. But as soon as I found out about it, I just fell in love with it. And I've been doing this ever since.
I absolutely love the passion again that you're putting on. And I had to circle back there because in the beginning we talked what got you here, but I was a little curious if this was just something ever since you were a kid. It turns out you've had this passion going throughout. Now, we talked about pricing. We talked a little bit about branding, but I know you have a lot to offer with the client experience. What are some ways you've been able to elevate this and stand as an industry leader?
I really want people who come to my studio to remember this experience for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
You walk into my studio door and you are treated like a queen. So we have their name on a board. Welcome to the studio, Jennifer, right? We have chilled drinks. We only take one client per day so that she can really be pampered. I have little traditions we do, like you get to sign a board after your photo shoot with your name on it, and you get to join our club. You're a bombshell. If you still have tags on your lingerie that you bring, you get to snip those off, put them in our little wish jar, make a wish. It's like blowing out your birthday candles. So just little touches that we have at the studio to make everyone feel like this is a special, empowering moment that they will never forget.
And at the studio, do you have a particular favorite type of photography? I know you love them all, but is there something that you just truly get so excited for when it's on the calendar?
Women over 40, women over 50, women who have lived a little bit of life, know who they are, know why they want to be there. They are my favorite. Listen, women just are aging like fine wine. I mean, they get better, more wise, more ready to feel this experience, really embrace what it is for the moment. And they're less worried about what they look like and more just wanting to experience it. So I myself am a woman over 40, and I just see a generation of powerful women growing up, stepping into their own, and I love being a part of it.
Is that your niche at your studio? Do you do any male photographers? Is it strictly female photography?
Female only. It's a female space, 100% female staff. Now, if you're a man and you want to do an empowering photo shoot, I'm excited for you. I want you to do it, but I'm going to refer you to one of my colleagues because I've created a female-centric space to really embrace that.
I love that. And that was the goal from the very beginning, or is that something that it is?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I have done some men, I have done some couples. I've done it all. I've done weddings, I've done events, I've done kids, I've done pets, I've done male boudoir, I've done couples boudoir. But when I opened my studio in 2018, I decided to really niche down, really focus. I wanted to actually attract some clients and repel others. Like, I know the word repel is strong, but like I wanted to be a place where I just was really focusing, getting really good at one thing, and then not trying to be a jack of all trades of all things. So my space is very female centric. All of my marketing, my emails, my texts, my messaging is all really specific to this one thing that I do. And when other opportunities come my way, I just turn them away because that's not what I want to focus my time and energy on.
And that's one of the other challenges of entrepreneurship. In the beginning, I was a finance graduate, so I'm using that degree. I'm doing real estate, trying to make ends meet while this is slow to take off and all of these things. But the more time I spent out of this was just pushing me further and further away from actually getting to where I go. So I hope that is something that is going to motivate everyone to stay on track. But now we're getting to one of my favorite questions. If you could choose to sit down with any entrepreneur, dead or alive, who would you choose?
Okay, do you know who Sarah Blakely is, who started Spanx? I am inspired by her. She is a woman who she started out selling fax machines door to door and ended up creating $1 billion business of Spanx. Her business inspires me, and her personality and her attitude inspires me too.
Where would the meeting go down if you could pick that location too?
I think the answer is always Rome. Rome is always the answer. I lived in Italy for a while. My heart is always in Italy. If I can be in Italy, that's where I choose.
What made you move to Italy?
I was there in my 20s. I was engaged to an Italian guy for a little while, taught English over there, did some stuff. Um, I don't live there anymore, but I still speak Italian and I love it. It's in my heart forever.
Do you go back a lot?
We do. I was just there last Thanksgiving, took my kids there for the first time. You know, Italy's just always a good idea.
I had gone after my MBA graduation. I went with a friend and we floated around Rome, Florence. We went all over the place, and there certainly was a trip to remember. But closing out, do you have any inspiration you can throw our entrepreneurs who may feel like there's no way up right now? They may feel stuck and they see your success story. Can you give them some empowering words?
I would just say if there is something in your back of your mind telling you that this is your role, this is your passion, this is your path, don't ignore that feeling. There's a reason why it keeps coming back to you. And the roadblocks are going to keep coming up. There have been 1,000 roadblocks for me. I had a competitor tell all of her Instagram followers to write bad reviews on my site, and I got hundreds of bad reviews over one weekend. I've had the studio flood twice. I've had clients ask for refunds. I've had all kinds of things. The roadblocks are never really going to end. That's part of being in business. Don't look at the roadblocks as telling you to stop, just as an opportunity to learn and keep going.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I can top that. So I'm going to have to get all of your information so our listeners, everyone can get in touch with you. They can follow your great work. I want to congratulate you on your success so much. Again, streaming in from Chicago. Where can we find you? And then after, of course, drop your address for anyone in the area.
Sure. So the best place to get a hold of me is at my website, which is chicagoboudoir.com. Boudoir is a little bit of a tricky word, BOUDOIR.com. Even if you're not in the Chicago area, I'd love for you to stop by. I've got a bunch of free stuff on there, some free ebooks, a quiz you can take. So check it out. If you're in the area, I'm just north of Chicago in a little fancy suburb called Winnetka.
Sounds fancy.
It is. It's cute. It's cute and fun.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. Everyone, if you're in the area, be sure to stop by there and check out all the great work she's doing. My name is Vincent A. Lancy, and this is Liz Hansen stopping by here with everything she's accomplished. But I think you just mentioned one more thing. We have a second. Ebooks, courses. What motivated you to get those started?
So I'm the kind of I've always got something to say, right? I've always got a hot take. So I decided to put them into some ebooks. I've got a lot of content that I like to share, not only with just women who might want to come into the studio, but other entrepreneurs. I am a big advocate in helping other people start small businesses, medium-sized businesses, especially women. So when I was starting my business, I wish I had had more resources. I wish I had had someone cheering me on. Listen, almost everyone I talked to before I started my business told me not to do it. My family told me not to do it. People were like, that you can't make money with a photo studio. Everyone's got an iPhone, right? So I wish I had been able to tap into more resources to encourage me, to help me understand how to get started. So I've tried to create that, what I wish I had when I was getting started. I love Canva. Canva, the website, you can create your own ebooks on there, really easy. And I just have tried to put out material that I think is inspiring and empowering, especially for female entrepreneurs.
Oh my gosh, you inspired me throughout the whole show. I can't thank you enough for coming on, everyone. I also want to thank you for tuning in to another incredibly inspiring guest. And remember to subscribe to stay current with our community of entrepreneurs. Show is at That Entrepreneur Show on all social media. We can find us on all podcast platforms, but I would love to hear from you. Anything you love from any of our shows, reach out to Danica at podcastsbylancy@gmail.com and we will feature you on a show. But with that, we're signing off from one place that's nice and comfortable in the summer to down here in Florida where it's been a little bit hot. So thank you so much, Liz, once again.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is great.
Talk to you soon.